Hey guys, it's Danielle and I am back with another process video. I am going to be using my Felicity Jane Next Stop kit and I'm going to be doing a spread in my daughter's baby album. She's 4.5 years old and she has plenty of layouts that says stories about her fun little life, but she doesn't have that first year, month by month baby album, and that is what I've been working on for the past couple of weeks. Now, the spread that I'm working on today is actually of my maternity shots, my baby bump photos, but the layout previous to this, I documented how we decorated her nursery, and I used this page protector that had all these little squares in it to sort of highlight some detail shots of her nursery. But when it came time to use this same page protector for these maternity shots, I didn't really know what approach I wanted to take. I didn't really want to put photos in there. I didn't want to size my maternity photos down that small. So I didn't really know what to do with it. But then my kit came in the mail and I loved all of the papers as usual, and I thought, that's the ticket. I'm going to just collage all of these papers in these little squares, and it turned out great. So what you see me doing right here is just going through all of the papers and cutting them down. All of the papers that I use came from the Next Stop kit, minus that tiny black polka dot. That came from a previous Felicity Jane kit, but I really wanted to include that print into my collage, so I pulled that in as well, and it looks great with all of the other patterns. So as you can see, I've cut a lot of different squares from a lot of different patterns, and I'm just mixing and matching them and moving them around so that I can get a distribution of colors and patterns and make it look how I want. I wasn't sure if I wanted to use that bold stripe, so I went back and forth on that, but I ended up using it. I liked it in there, but I wasn't so sure in the beginning here. So once I sort of get everything in place, I had to think, how am I going to embellish this, if I'm going to embellish it at all? And I thought maybe I could journal in some of these spots or just totally leave it blank. But I saw this little square sitting on my desk with this little cork heart sewed on it. This was from a previous layout that it didn't make it onto the layout, but it worked perfectly for this spread. So I decided to just stick that there on the tiny black polka dot paper, sort of in the upper center portion of this page protector, and I love the way it looks. So I'm just getting all of the little squares stuck into place, and that part of my layout is done. Now on the other side of my spread, I'm going to be using a full page 6x8 photo, but there was still a lot of pictures from this shoot that I wanted to include. And so what I decided to do was just take this glassing bag and punch some holes in it. I made sure to put some hole reinforcements on those holes just because a glassing bag is fragile, and so I didn't want it to rip that easy, but I like the look of those white hole reinforcers. I just think that looks super cute, and so it was a win-win. And then I sized my photos down to 3x4 so that they would easily just tuck into this bag, and then I'm going to pop it into my album. I love that glassing bags are see-through and that you can see some of the photos that are in there, and so I made sure that two of my favorite ones were on the edges so that those were the ones that you could see. And then I took a word strip from the kit that says all the smiles, and I just stuck it on the back, and I called it good. All right, so here is my 6x8 photo, and you can see that it had this great amount of white space, and so I took advantage of that and typed my journaling right there on my photo. And my approach to my journaling was I just sort of did it in a list form. I didn't use sentences. I just put comma in between all of my thoughts, and I just really wrote the things that I was thinking while I was pregnant, the things I was doing, the things that I was feeling, the foods that I was craving, and I just put them all down, one paragraph, like I said, one big long sentence. And then at the very end, I just wrote, loving all these little moments that only you and I get to share. And I loved reading this journaling. I actually wrote this journaling a few months after my daughter was born, so it was sort of waiting for me, and I loved that I did that because it made this layout super simple. And then what I did as just a last little final touch was I wanted to add another cork heart on this side of my layout. So I went through my stash. I was super happy that I found another one, but I just stuck that to the top of my journaling there, and then I just stitched a line through it, and then I call this spread complete. I just have to pop it into my album and I'm done. So I just wanted to thank you guys so much for watching. I would encourage you to head on over to felicityjane.com so that you can check out more information about these kits, and also you can check out what the other members of the creative team are doing with these kits. There's just so much great inspiration over there. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk to you all soon. All right, bye-bye, guys.